Labour Party accusing leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress of doing a hatchet job to destroy it. As strong words, a hatchet job to destroy it. The national legal advisor of the party, Kehinde Edun, who spoke during a media briefing at the National Secretariat of the party in Abuja, said that the Labour Party is being assailed on all sides by paid agents, mainly by the NLC and its cronies. So the job which the NLC has paid is to create a semblance of division and crisis in the party, saying that despite their evil agenda, the party remains strong and stable. Your comrade, we are having a long-running battle between these two, should I say, unidentical twins. They are twins, but they are not identical
at all.
The Nigerian Labour Congress usually used to be concerned about workers, and they just had a win recently via the 70,000 naira minimum wage. And I think that's where they are stronger, negotiating for better working deals and better working environments for workers.
Yes.
And the Labour Party, which has been a beacon of hope for a lot of politicians, it has been a beacon of hope for a lot of voters, for a lot of the electorate. They see Labour Party as the only way. But holding it together has been difficult, which is not is expected. It's not. It was something that has happened to every other party. I mean, APGA is within the twilights of extinction.
Extinction, yes.
I mean, the PDP is
shaking seriously.
You know, so we should not be shocked that Labour Party is having its turn. But it's from the angle that the aggressor is coming from that is a bit worrisome. From the angle of the Nigerian Labour Congress, does the Nigerian Labour Congress want the Labour Party to succeed, or do they want to subsume the Labour Party under the Nigerian Labour Congress? I don't understand what the Nigerian Labour Congress has with Labour Party itself. If you can explain it, and if you can explain and expatiate for us.
The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Labour Party, you know, they are a marriage of convenience to start with. They are just a marriage of convenience, you know, where each party, you know, find opportunity in the other. Now, when a Labour Party came on board, and then what is their ideology, or what was the driving force, you know, behind the formation of that party? And then they were in existence. We never heard of them until the obedient movement, as it were, came and identified with them when their presidential candidate Peter Obi, they come from the PDP to the Labour Party. And then, given that the dissatisfaction of the Nigerian populace is always expressed through Nigerian Labour Congress, that was how we saw a merger, you know, or an all-familiar marriage between the NLC and the Labour Party. Now, Labour Party, you know, saw an opportunity in NLC, whereby the collection of members of NLC in the name of Nigerian workers is a massive pool as far their, you know, their potential to win election in 2023 is concerned. So that was how they welcome everything that the NLC was doing, you know, was bringing to them. But there is something they're afraid to watch, and that thing is this: both in Labour Party and the Nigeria Labour Congress, they are made of human beings. And when we say human being, we are talking about the average Nigerian. Now, leadership in the public sector, you know, is bedeviled with corruption, as it were. Those who are at the top echelon of NLC are close to the government of the day. Normally, when a government is coming to an end, you see, a desertation, where I'm your friend as a president, as a governor, as a local government chairman. The next person is coming on board. I don't have a guarantee the person is going to win. And then I begin to, pitch my tent here and there. So that was how they saw the candidate of Labour Party, being the person of Peter Obi, as a viable, tool as far as ascendancy to power in the post-2023 is concerned. So the Labour Party, the NLC leadership and the leadership anyway, all join hand with the Labour Party. But today, the newborn baby they hope to deliver to Nigerians fail to materialize. So what do we have? They know that if they continue to be with the Labour Party, it's going to be a lose-lose situation for them. Okay. So that is basically what is happening. Then on the part of Labour Party, can they say that their problem is just about NLC? I don't think that can be correct.
Okay.
Their presidential candidate, who we can say is the leader of the party today,
yes,
can they say he has done well in holding that party together? We can see the other day in Ebonyi State, the former Senate President, Pius Ayin, was defecting, and the candidate of Labour Party defected with him to the APC. Yeah. So if the Labour Party, now, that candidate, is it a member of NLC? Or is anybody going to tell me that he was influenced by the NLC? The answer is a capital no. So the Labour Party should rather, understand that marriage of conveniences has now resort to a divorce. So they should let the NLC be, so that they can look inward and know what they are supposed to do, because the 2027 we are talking about is just by the corner. It's no longer far. Some parties are already talking about congresses, and you are here talking about infighting and fighting with, those who have been with you. And then, basically, the Labour Party should just, look inward and put their house in order, so that they don't fall like a pack of cards heading to the 2027 election.
Okay. Should I insinuate, because I am seeing it from that angle, well, it's just my opinion, but I think that since the Labour Party gave the presidential ticket, candidacy of the party in the presidential elections, they have said that in 2027, it is still going to be Peter Obi. And meanwhile, congresses have not held. And all of a sudden, there was attack from the NLC. Is it possible? Is it possible that Joe Ajaero, the president of the NLC, might be having political ambitions that Peter Obi is scuttling? Do you see it from that perspective, or you have a different opinion?
In life, possibility is nothing. I mean, impossibility is nothing. And then you cannot stop anyone's ambition. Anybody in the street of Nigeria today can decide to aspire. If you have the capacity to do it, it's a different thing entirely. Now, some months ago, the Labour Party came up and tell us that Peter Obi is their candidate in 2027. To me, that's a big shot on their foot. Because you just limit your options by doing that. Why not make the system open? So that there are some persons, of repute. When I say repute, I'm talking about both the capacity as a leader and also the ability to muzzle the financial resources.
Exactly.
That may have come in to say, okay, I can do this job better than Obi. I can, give the Labour Party a better front than Peter Obi, than the former presidential candidate. But you just wake up overnight and shut everywhere down. And that is why I am of the opinion that the Labour Party leadership, as it is today, should look inward, so that they don't, make themselves object of caricature heading to the 2027 election. Now, I can cast our minds back to what happened in Rivers State, in 2015 and 2019, to be precise, even 2023 elections. The former Minister of Transport and his own the former Minister of Transport in the person of Honorable Chibuike Amechi, who is equally the former governor of Rivers State, or a former governor of Rivers State. You know, in 2015, his candidate was Dakuku Peter Side. Now, primary elections were held, but before the primary election were held, he and his foot soldiers, or those who are saddled with the responsibility of, you know, interfacing with the public via the media, came out to tell us that the candidate of the party is Dakuku Peter Side. That was how Dakuku adopted Peter Side. That was how, you know, the infighting, you know, started among the big wings in that party, where his relationship with the man that received bullets on behalf of him, that's in the person of Magnus Singeyabe, you know, became his relationship with the former governor, Rotimi Amechi, became very strained. Yeah. And up to today, they've not been able to, you know, mend their offenses. Then in 2019, the same thing happened. Peter Side, Dakuku Ado Peter Side, was very, very loud, you know, heading to the 2019 election. Yeah. And then with the energy, you know, going into 2019, all we are thinking that he is going to fly the flag of the APC, you know, in the state, in Rivers State. But at the end of the day, what did you see? Tonyeko emerged from nowhere, you know, yeah. And that was how up to today we no longer hear of Dakuku. No, you know, there were, yeah, Tonyeko as a matter of fact. Then that was how, you know, the support cast that would have been on the part of on the side of Tonyeko wasn't there, and then via record they lost that, and they have to be forced to endorse one Awara. Yes. You know. Then 2023, we were thinking that they've learned their lesson. The same thing repeated itself again, where before the primary election, you know, party delegates were prevented from expressing themselves and what have you, you know, and they went into the election ill-prepared. And I think they came a distant third, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So the Labour Party at the national level, in fact, across board, need to learn from the Rivers State experience of APC. Very true. As a matter of fact, the infighting that we keep on seeing APC today, where we don't know if we have up to 3 factions, you know, who is the chairman up till now, we cannot lay hand and say, okay, this is the chairman today, we hear that there's a chairman, tomorrow we hear that it's an active chairman, next tomorrow we have, you know, from one court case to the other. If the Labour Party is not careful, if they don't go inward and put their house in order, then what happened to the APC at the macro level in the state is going to happen to them at the national. And then they will end up running from pillar to post, and all they are trying to put together for the Nigerian society as it were will just fall by the wayside. And that will be the end of it.
Oh. All right, we've been getting some musings concerning the rift between the NLC and the Labour Party. We stand to see what it will give birth to, but we hope that it will give birth to something better, because right now, I mean, the predictions are not clear. Predictions are not safe. And I wanted to also ask, are the Obedience, the group, the pressure group called the Obedience, are they trying to mend things within the Labour Party, or they are waiting for an exit strategy? Are they planning to leave, or they want to amend things in the Labour Party?
Okay. The Obedience, you know, more or less came from the offshoot of the NSAS protest, or the NSAS movement. And then we can also say that the coming together, the emergence of the Obedient movement is also a marriage of convenience. You know, the Nigerian public, or a large section of the Nigerian public as it were, you know, is frustrated and tired of the status quo, where leaders continue to take the public for granted, or those who elect them to power, you know, for granted. And then somebody, you know, from nowhere, if I may put it that way, came to make the Nigerian public to understand, or have the profile to appeal to the minds of Nigerians, you know, via the kind of statement he made that made him to leave the People's Democratic Party. And then the people, those who were his opposition within the People's Democratic Party, are, you know, leaders or characters that have that we can say the Nigerian populace have, or a section of the Nigerian populace have issue with, especially those who partook in the NSAS protest or who are the pro-NSAS protest.
Yeah.
Now, by the time he made the statement he made about the lack of internal democracy in PDP, how some people do not want Nigeria to move forward in the PDP and all the rest of them. So they easily, say, okay, this person is our candidate. Because ordinarily, if you ask me, Peter Obi is former governor of Anambra State, is another Nigerian politician. He has been part of the system. Those who were with him in PDP, he has dined and wined with them. When did he suddenly wake up to tell the public that these people are all corrupt? Then if they are corrupt all this while, what have you been doing with them? Then at the end of the day, okay, you came into the Labour Party, the obedient movement was formed, it gathered muscles, and then to the point where today is like a vehicle for the public to express themselves. Now talking about the possibility of that movement pitching its tent elsewhere in 2027 is a clear possibility. Especially if the way they are flag bearer, when I say flag bearer, I don't mean the person of presidency, and I'm talking about the Obi himself, where the obedient movement came, emanated from.
Yes.
If he decide to leave the Labour Party because of the infighting we are seeing now, today we hear that one man is their chairman, next tomorrow is another person. If those kind of infighting continue to happen, Obi may leave, and then we see a situation where all the obedient will move with him. Because the obedient movement is not synonymous with Labour Party as it were, just because of Peter Obi that they pitch their tent with, Labour Party. Then the other scenario could be a situation where Peter Obi continue to receive frustration, and then he decide that, okay, let me leave politics and concentrate on my business. Obedient movement will continue, and it will continue to be obedient. That nomenclature is likely not going to change. And if the Labour Party is perceived to be the reason why he's leaving politics and his ambition, then they are going to definitely leave the Labour Party. Then whichever candidate and party that can express, the ideas of obedient movement and of Peter Obi, and especially that can win the endorsement of Peter Obi, we are likely going to see the obedient movement pitching their tent with that particular political party and its candidates. Okay.
So the Labour Party is not going to be assisted in any way in its internal wranglings, either within or in between they and the NLC. The obedience and even Peter Obi might not even interfere. But be that as it may, they have their own political calculations. That's the stance, right?
Yes. The fact is that every politician, political group, political party, political leadership, structure, there will always be calculation. Like I said in our previous show here, politics is from the micro to the macro level.
Exactly.
Now, as an individual, we can say, okay, that's the micro level. Then by the time we are coming together as leaders of the party, that's macro level. Now, I come to express my ideas. Then we bring our ideas together, we condense them, and then we see the product. And then we express it out there and see if it can make us achieve our objectives. So the Labour Party, as it is today, have a leadership in place. Then Peter Obi, as the leader of that political party, is part of the leadership. Then at the same time, we can say that he listened to the yearnings of the public, especially as expressed via the obedient movement. So, so those ideas expressed by the obedient movement and the public in general, it can bring them to the party. And then by the time the party is listening to what it has on the table, then we can say that, across board they are being assisted, to put themselves in order. But if they will welcome those ideas, and expunge all this internal wrangling, leadership issues, one person's position, not knowing the boundaries of each and every one, then all those ideas that may be brought to the table in expressing, in other stakeholders expressing themselves to see how the party can move forward, they can be of nullity.
Oh. All right, we've been listening to the calculations and musings and postulations of Mr. Vincent Ogenekewe Okoro. He is a trusted analyst so far as political affairs in our dear country Nigeria is concerned. And this is where we'll wrap it up.